Well, that's fine. I'm the worst person in the world at names.
Yes.
And it's a historical fact. So I want to see a Galarian Articuno named Elsa.
Elsa? Oh, that's cute.
Elsa.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's good. Let it go, dog. Just let it go.
Let it go. But we can't let it go because it's a Galarian bird.
Don't let it go. Hold on tight. Never let go. Don't let go.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
Growing up isn't easy, even if you're a shiny Magikarp.
All hail the crown and the debut of Kingambit, and more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 322. It is April 29th, a Tuesday evening, if you can believe it. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. It's going.
You know, I've asked you that question over 300 times, and that's the first time I've heard you go,
It's going. It's going.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to pry too much, but I hope whatever is causing you to have a guttural groan is your response to how everything's going. I hope that clears up.
Hey, it's nice outside, so we'll take that win.
It is
actually nice outside for the first time in 6 months.
Does that mean you're going to start playing Pokemon Go again?
I mean, not right now. But
this man's always got a reason. This man over here.
No, but we'll talk about. Yeah, that's the end of the show. That's at the end of the show.
Okay. All righty, Rue. We did set some goals 2 weeks ago together. Last week, we did not have an episode. I was busy during our normal recording time, and then Kyle was busy the other times. And then I ended up being even more busy, so I did not do a solo show during waking hours. So sorry about that, folks, but we're here and plenty of things to talk about as a result of missing a little bit of time. We were actually ahead of schedule as far as news releases were, so we're going to be talking about some stuff that is real fresh now. Actually, the first event we're going to be talking about starts on Friday this week. Again, we're recording on Tuesday. So it'll be nice and fresh, plus some future stuff as well. Lots of news. Before we get into any of that, we got to talk about these goals that we set 2 weeks ago. And we set these, and this was with the Tink event starting, right? So that was before that. And then today was the last day of that Applin event as well. And so while we're not going to talk about that really all that much because it's over and neither of us set goals around it, I do want us to talk about it real briefly because it is worthwhile discussing.
We also just passed through Vanillite Community Day as well.
Oh, yeah, but whatever, right?
It's relevant to the Applin discussion.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get there. First, let's do goals, then we'll talk about Applin, and then we'll hop into the news like we usually do. So for yourself, Mr. Kyle, you wanted to get a Tink. Just one, I suppose.
I did.
All right. Did you get more than one?
I did not. I only got one, and you want to know why I only got one?
Because you hatched one egg?
Because the first egg that I hatched was a Hundo Tinkatink.
Oh, that's right. You sent me the screenshot.
So first egg, Dex entry, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't have any incubators right now. I've got like 3 incubators. So
oh my gosh.
I'm like, that's it. We're done. I win. Game over.
Pack it up, folks. Yeah. Game over, man. Oh my gosh. So you just didn't do any more. You didn't for candy or anything like that?
No, yeah. I mean, like, I don't have enough incubators anyways, so I was just hatching the 2Ks and 5Ks that I was getting from stops.
Okay.
Garbage, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that's completely fair. I hatched I have 7 saved, but I hatched I think like 12, maybe. They were pretty easy to come by if you were really hatching those eggs. But okay, anyway, enough about that. Nice work on the Tinkatink. 200,000 experience.
I did do that.
Sweet. And then the special research progress, did you get any further in that?
I did. I'm real far along on a lot of stuff going right now. I finished the Go tour that I had like finally changed over to do 5 raids, and I hadn't done raids, so I just did the raids over the week right after we recorded the last episode, so that was great.
Yeah.
And then I've got a lot of progress on a lot of stuff going on right now. So many. I actually don't have that many research. I have like 6, and 3 of them are masterwork. So like, that's pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, and more importantly, it checks the box for the research goal that you had. So
yeah,
definitely. Well, nice work. Awesome. So you still have stuff you can set goals on, right? Because that's
100%. I got one that I'm definitely gonna finish this week. So
all right. Well, 3 out of 3 for you, Mr. Kyle. Good on you. 100 eggs hatched was my first goal. I failed. I got 95 only.
Oh,
I know, so close. And then this week, if I had placed it, I would have only gotten 87 or something like that. Like I would have been close, but not close enough. Get it, take a tink. I did do that. I got several, as I had just listed. Next up was Dynamax Snorlax. Guess who outsourced this to my good friend Henderson? He grabbed me one. I
did
was
you trade for it already?
No, I failed this, but I don't have it yet.
Okay.
So I have failed the goal as of this week, but I have one with my name on it set aside. In addition to, I think, one of the other Dynamax legendary birds and a Dynamax Entei he's got for me too. Suicune's the other one I actually intend to do. We'll get to that later, but no Snorlax this week. And you can actually have heard me already admit to this. If you listened to It's Super Effective's episode this past week, not this week that we're in right now, but this past week, I was on that show and Steve also skipped. So I didn't feel too bad. But hey, Dynamax Snorlax is really Snorlax is very cool. Don't get me wrong. I was just like, I'd rather play Oblivion for an hour than go out and do this.
It's so hard to be excited for normal type anything in Go. It's no disrespect at all. And like, they're cool in the main series games, but like, I don't know how you give them a niche in Go that makes them actually compelling outside of a collector's piece. I
think that's kind of it. I think that's okay. I really do, unfortunately. I mean, normal kind of already faces that issue in main series titles. It's just better about it. But it is largely relegated to being kind of useless.
Well,
not useless,
just the older Pokemon gets, the worse normal typing gets. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
The younger Pokemon it used to be a very strong typing.
The immunity to Ghost, when Ghost was so strong in the meta, was very good.
Also, normal types were known for having really good move sets to overcome the fact they didn't have stab.
Right.
Wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Everything gets everything now.
Pretty much. Everybody's Nidoking at the end of the day. We understand. And then my last goal was any and all tickets / special research. I did everything. I did absolutely everything that was on offer that I could purchase, that I could do. I did all of it. So 2 out of 4 for me, only halfway, unfortunately. And yet again, Mr. Kyle, another week where I play much harder than you, but yet I still fail my goals and you win. One of these days.
The egg one, I could almost give you that, but you can't.
95 is not 100. Last time I checked.
I said almost.
It's unfortunate. I said almost.
Look, I think everybody listening except like modders can agree that every week hatching a goal of 50 to 100 eggs, setting a goal to hatch 50 or 100 eggs is a crazy goal.
We've got like 3 or 4 people in our fitness tracker group that are really putting the numbers up.
That's too much.
I think I'm third in eggs right now.
I'm sure
Modders
is second.
First, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember. Forgive me if I have that incorrect, guys. Anyway,
I don't remember the last time I opened that channel in Discord.
I mean, you're not participating in it, and that's fine. And I have to, because, well, first of all, eggs. It's like the only place in the server that people celebrate egg hatching. So why would I be anywhere else? But also, secondly, like I have to make the sheets, so I gotta be plugged in. Anyway, I'm eager to hear your thoughts.
Even like last week, modders only hatched 65 eggs.
Oh, you got it popped open? Yeah, I haven't put my numbers up for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, Sarah Lore did 87 last week.
Sarah Lore is killing it.
There you go.
Absolutely killing it.
Y'all
with the
are insane.
That's right, but
all
we're insane together. Not all of us. You should, man. Some of those distances on there is crazy, dude.
Well,
it's crazy.
But like some people have specific jobs that really bring that home too.
Like who? Tyler? Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, Tyler. But no, I don't remember who, but there's a couple of warehouse workers in our Discord that really gets distance.
Yep,
because of the distance they're moving. So there's that. Still crazy. It's crazy.
They really get steps because of the steps they're getting. Anyway, before we move on to news and moving away from goals, let's talk about Applin. I'm eager to hear what your thoughts are. So this Sweet Discoveries event came out. If you just installed the game today and you missed the event, Applin was introduced, and Applin could be gotten a couple of ways. And by a couple of ways, I mean just one way, really. And it was finding apples out in the wild. And more apples would spawn if you were under mossy lures, allegedly. I think that was actually true based on my experience.
But
in addition, those apples could also be various other Pokemon, such as Squovit. And there's another one I can't remember. But they could also be 2 items. One's a sweet apple and one was a tart apple. You need 20 of each of those to make each of the different split evolutions for Applin. So it is quite the long grind. Now, some sentiment over the weekend and over the event was that, boy, these apples sure are rare. And the question and the conversation became, are these apples too rare, generally speaking? Has anybody seen these apples? It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your apples are? Like stuff like that. So anyway, I've set the stage. Now, Kyle, share your experience. We haven't really talked about this.
Well, so one thing worth mentioning also, if the apple was a Pokemon and you caught the Pokemon, I do believe the Pokemon still had a chance of giving you the sweet or tart apple. So you didn't just lose out completely.
It's true.
I do remember saying 2 weeks ago that if you saw another Pokemon in those apples, I was going to be very upset.
Yep.
So I'm not very happy right now.
Okay, but they do all drop. They do have a chance to drop the apple. I think it's a majority.
Ones.
Yeah.
I got one Applin because let's be real here for anyone who actually played a significant amount of time. If you weren't around mossy lures, the apple spawn rate was almost non-existent. It was very, very, very low. Around mossy lures, apparently it was pretty good. I didn't have a chance over the last 5 days that the event was going to sit down around 3 or 4 lures and put the mossy lures down. It just didn't work out with my free time, which was unfortunate. But because I didn't get to play Vanilla Community Day because I was working. But we'll talk about that in just a second, briefly. That said, there are also mixed reports here about whether it was bugged or not. A lot of talk about apples not showing up and then moving your camera and the apples showed up, or resetting your game sometimes caused a bunch of apples to show up because they weren't loading in. And apparently I saw multiple reports of this, but I can't actually confirm that was the case, but it certainly seemed like the apples were way too rare aside from mossy lures for it to be a feature of the event.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I went out and I targeted these things for a while. One day I had 30 minutes. I went out and I perused and I had to run an errand. So I went out to a park and sat there for a little bit under a couple of mossy lures. And then for Vanillite, I was out there for about an hour. So I hung out underneath a mossy lure as well that I found at the college nearby during that time. I have 9 Applin to my name. And I have 13 sweet and 14 tart apples and the 139 Applin candy, non-rare candy. I did put 200 in, but 139 was the raw organic count. My experience is pretty similar. I think if you go out and you go to high density areas, you had a better chance. Mossy lures certainly did help, although, like we talked about last episode, lures rub me the wrong way now.
Mm-hmm.
I think all lures should be converted to do different types of incense, personally. Or there should be versions of both. There should be a mossy lure and a mossy incense, so that if I want to go out and have a walk, but I also want to use a premium item and do this hunt, I can still do that, as opposed to I'm out for a walk. Now I have to sit under this thing that's at the one Pokestop in my neighborhood in order to have a chance to do this. I think that is a bit at odds with the mission statement of Go. Of course, now that's in flux, right? But you know what I mean.
I agree completely, although I do see the difficulties here because, it's been seven years of doing this now for us.
Yeah.
Almost 9. I'm sorry. It's been 8 years, almost 9. And lures from a community aspect are awesome. Like in bulk. When you go to a park for community day and everybody has put a different lure up, or everyone has put a lure up and the whole park gets to be enhanced because of it, awesome. It is a great experience that just makes it feel better, especially if you're somebody who's played at a park without it being lured, and then you go back for it to be all lured up. It's a completely different experience. But outside of these events where it's a focus, lures feel so bad. I've gone to the same park that I play community days at and put lures up on a regular event because I wanted to enhance the experience, and it didn't feel good. I can't explain or put my finger on exactly why it doesn't feel good, but I do agree with Chris that the concept of a lure feels like the antithesis of what Go really wants.
I mean, I think it's a good option, right? Based on what you're saying, like the community building stuff of like, hey, there's a lure here. I know there's people playing. Maybe I'll run into other people. That's really cool. I just think we need both. Or it could be dual purpose. Do you want the stop raise an incense, or do you want me to, lure up a stop or something?
Well, it's rough because like one lure is useless. I don't know if anybody's ever sat under one stop and put one lure down. You might as well have not used your item. I don't you don't notice it almost at all. I couldn't tell you the numbers of how many spawns from a lure. I know people in our Discord do know that answer. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
We used to know.
Yeah. But you need like an area that you can like cycle back and forth between, or like a really, really dense area. Like if you're in the Woodstock Square and you can sit on top of 7 Pokestops at the same time while you're having lunch. But then that's not Go, that's not playing Pokemon Go. And that's why it just doesn't feel right. But that was the best way to make use of the Applin debut.
It was. And I was a little disappointed because I guess, the event just ended, so we're not entirely sure yet. But I was a little disappointed that it wasn't more bountiful, because I was like, oh, I'm sure that for the release, they're going to be around a bit more and then they'll scale down. They may yet scale down even further in occurrence. Yeah, so I might be right in a bad way.
I have seen reports that they are spawning afterwards in the overworld.
Good.
So just confirming that they're there, but can't confirm, rates or anything like that. But someone posted online after the event ended, they found a sweet apple in the wild. So
good. Yeah, I saw one on the way home before we recorded after the event ended. So all right, very, very cool. So Vanilla Community Day also happened. You said you didn't get a chance to really go out. I did for about an hour, finished all the research in that time, got like 10 shinies, I think. It was very straightforward. It was a catch experience Community Day, I believe. So it was not really for me. But I like the Vanillite shiny. Vanillite's the best shiny in that line. I don't like the purple later. I like the pink. Kyle doesn't like Vanillite, so he didn't miss too much. I've got shinies for you, buddy, if you want to finish the line.
Yeah, I could use a shiny. I was just working. I opened it once because we were really busy, and I caught like the 10 Vanillite that spawned around my store, and that was all I did.
No shiny?
I would have liked to play. Don't get me wrong. I would have liked to play, especially because the weather was really nice.
It was.
So.
But none of those 10 were shiny?
Nope.
Did you have one before this?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought I did.
I thought I had like 4. I had 1.
No, I did not have one.
All these different Pokemon that like are in that weird margin gray area in your brain where you're like, you're fine, but I don't consider you ever. I'm always like, yeah, I've got like 6 of those, and I open them up, I got 1 shiny. Like the fact that I didn't have a shiny Hitmonchan ever until this Tyrogue research day, when I made one on purpose because I thought I had one. How on earth does that happen? Anyway, goodness. Okay, well, with all of that being said, we actually have to get started in like the real news. So see you there in a second. Yo, what up? It's the news. Okay, this first piece of news here is a new event. This one is the event that's starting this Friday, May 2nd. It is called Growing Up. Grow up. Get over it. Stop it. It's kind of what we're doing here.
Both great games.
Growing up.
Grow up and getting over it.
Oh, I really loved Grow Up. Grow Up is a really fun game.
You bought it for me in like 2017.
I did? Oh, see, I've got great taste. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I should reinstall that game. That game was good. Anyway, this Growing Up event it's starting this Friday, like I said, May 2nd at 10 a.m. and it runs through Wednesday, May 7th at 8 p.m. local time. So another over the weekend plus some change event. I'm kind of liking this format. Event bonuses is 2 times experience for evolving, 2 times candy from hatching eggs, an increased chance to hatch shiny Wimpod, an increased chance to encounter shiny Magikarp, Swablu, and Wimpod, and an increased chance to encounter extra small and extra large Pokemon in the wild. Oh, my storage is just cringing right now.
Stop saving them.
I can't because I don't go through manually. I do mass transfers, and if I don't say leave out, then my shinies and other stuff go with it too. Can you just turn off extra large and extra small from the filter?
Well, first off, why don't you just lock your shinies?
Because I'm trying to avoid doing that. So I've gotten to this point where I've put myself in a corner where, like, when I do muster up the courage to go through and manually start moving things like to the grinder or to home, I have to unfavorite everything. So now I'm just like, I'm not favoriting anything anymore. I just don't care. Except for like Applin and Dreepy and stuff like that.
The stuff that's still rare right now.
Yeah. So anyway.
One day you will have to get rid of your shinies.
I was thinking about it today because I'm like rotating through the last like 300 spots of my inventory, and I am thinking about GOFest and how
time to start prepping.
How not ready I am, like not even close. Anyway, wild encounters for this event include Magikarp, Wailmer, Swablu, Fungus, Dedenne, Cutiefly, Wimpod, and Rookidee. Ooh, and Nimble as well. Very nice. Those are all shiny except for Rookidee. Rookidee in the wild. We'd love to see that.
Yeah, we do.
We sure do. In eggs, 2 kilometer eggs will be a pool of 3, including Happiny, Riolu, Wimpod. 5K eggs will have Mime Jr. And 10 kilometer eggs will have Toxel.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then after the event ends, Toxel will still hatch from 10 kilometer eggs. It's nice to see it.
We like that.
Being added to that
pool.
That
is a great line of text in an announcement. My God. Like, it's not because I'm excited about Toxel. Just that line. Why have we not had this line in every time when it's relevant for the last 8 years?
You're going to see it again later, by the way. It's
just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Field research task rewards. Complete field research tasks to earn encounters with event-themed Pokemon as per usual. There's going to be a paid timed research that you can buy for $5 US, $4.99. You'll get 1 incubator, 15 pineapple berries, 3,000 Stardust, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon, including Magikarp, Swablu, Lucario, Wimpod, Tandemaus, and more. And an event-themed avatar pose where you like make a paper airplane and then kind of like pretend to throw it, but then it resets. I'm going to come out and say it. I'm going to say the non-controversial thing in the room because I feel it with my whole heart. Anything following up the Tinkaton Hammer avatar is not going to measure up. I don't care who you are. I don't care what it is. It's not going to measure up.
Are you rocking it right now?
No.
Okay, then.
But I need to. I need to. But I do have it. Stop undermining my point. My point is, I don't necessarily think that this pose is very good, but for those of you that are like, ew, gross, never, just remember, we're coming off the high of that Tinkaton avatar pose.
I think the pose is cute, but the fact that they didn't have the nerve to just have you just throw it and have it like disappear after 1 second. Like, I don't know. It's very weird to see like you're playing like you're feeding a baby instead of like throwing the paper airplane. Yeah,
so true. Open up for the airplane. You know,
exactly. Really that's why we do that with the babies.
And what would be like so cool? Hear me out. Ready? Is if they had poses like this one where you're in a raid lobby with a bunch of other people, your character throws the airplane, it flies around, it hits a random character in the head, and they stop their pose and they react to getting hit.
It might make like the entire Midwest crash if Niantic were to try.
Probably. North America's gone dark.
By the way, just I want to show you because it's so easy, Chris. It's so easy
on an audio format primarily.
Was it
transfer 568? Okay,
and then there. Hello? Did I not hit? I missed the
no,
button.
you didn't.
No, it was just lagging. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, but you didn't get the pop up of like, hey, you've got XXL stuff in here. Do you want to keep them?
Yeah, I did. That second hit was hit. Yes, because you had like event and stuff in there.
I'm not doing that.
That's 500. And oh my god, I still have Fuecoco here. I could get rid of these too. Great.
All right. Well, I got work to do. Very clearly.
You do have work to do. Oh wow, I have a lot of Fuecoco actually. What the heck?
There's going to be a collection challenge, Kyle, with this event as well. Can you imagine? Complete that Hatch Focused. There we go. Hatch Focused collection challenge to receive XP. That's short for experience, folks. Stardust and an encounter with Tandemouse. Great. I don't have to use party play. Awesome.
Okay. Sure.
Yep. There's also going to be Pokestop showcases, a growing up ultra ticket box in the web store that you could purchase if you're going to buy the ticket anyway. Do that instead. And here's something cool. There's going to be regional bonuses for trainers in Japan and Korea. This is going to be available from Sunday, May 4th at 10 a.m. to Monday, May 5th at 8 p.m. local time in Japan and Korea. Timed research awarding XP, Stardust, One Lucky Egg, and more. Complete field research tasks to earn Wimpod candy and encounters with Tandemouse. Evolve Riolu to get Lucario that knows the fast attack Force Palm. 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon, and half egg hatch distance when eggs are placed in an incubator during the event period. Bro, I might just need to catch a flight. Man, that's a lot of bonuses. My gosh.
Is there a reason? What's going on?
Ask me that question. I have no idea.
Like usually they say due to this type of thing that's going on or something. I don't know.
There has to be, right? There absolutely has to be. It's just there's no text around it whatsoever. Like none.
I don't know.
It just says it'll be there,
and that's why like it feels just a little bit bad. Because like these are pretty cool bonuses. It's like if you told me that if the event was more tied to Japan and Korea for some reason or another, I'd be like, okay, cool, totally makes sense. Like when we had the Day of the Dead and we had the Sempasuchel Duskull, and they got something a little extra then.
In Japan, May 5th is Children's Day.
Okay. I mean,
look,
I'm not putting it down. I like it. No. The regional bonuses is pretty cool if it has a reason.
Okay, and the day in Korea, Children's Day was changed to May 5th. as well.
That's
so
what you said. Yeah.
No, for Japan. Also Korea, it was originally on May 1st and they moved it to May 5th. That's what Google AI told me. So it's probably wrong. But yeah, that's got to be it. It'd be nice if they said something.
Yeah, in honor of Children's Day, these bonuses are going to be active in Japan and Korea. I don't know. It's not that big a deal, but it does feel a little bit strange.
I mean, I'm mad about it. I'm ready to march on headquarters, man. Yeah. So what about this event overall? I mean, we've kind of gotten your feel for it throughout this reading here, but what's your takeaway here? Toxel?
Well, no, I think the standout is actually probably Rookidee.
Yeah, I would agree.
Toxel only in 10K. We don't know how common it'll be. It's nice that it's there. Absolutely. And it's nice that it's going to stick around afterwards.
Yep.
I think we'll have to keep reading. I don't remember if it's in one of these following events, but Rookidee is also going to be in 1-star max battles as well.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Maybe that was in the May monthly update, which I don't think we're covering right now.
Is.
But yeah, so that's also a thing. Rookidee is going to have some good options for getting coming up, I should say.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the most exciting I guess of the three that this event was part of, Dynamax Suicune Max Battle Weekend. Woo! Unfortunately, it's probably the least applicable of the three, but it's my favorite, so that means something. When is this? Saturday, May 10th at 6 a.m. to Sunday, May 11th at 9 p.m. local time. Event bonuses will include the suite that we've seen for the other ones. So Max Particle Collection increased to 1,600. Quarter adventuring distance to receive max particles. Power spots refresh more frequently. 8 times max particles from power spots. Following bonus will be active from Monday, May 5th at 6 a.m. to Sunday, May 11th at 9 p.m. local time. So this is the entire week leading up to this. And then through the weekend. 3/4 max particle cost for unlocking and powering up max moves. We did talk a lot about this last episode about how we thought that was really rad. So opinions have not changed. There will also be a free timed research opportunity. Complete that to encounter a Dynamax Grookey to round out your battle team when you take on Dynamax Suicune. Timed research tasks will also award Grookey candy, max particles, and more to help power up your battle team. I think this is smart. This is a good way for them to onboard people. It worked really well last week with the Sobble stuff. And then there's going to be a web store thing. Go take a look there, I guess.
I think one thing that feels bad for me with this, I didn't really comment about the Sobble stuff, but it's nice for the onboarding type thing that's going on.
Yeah.
But the fact I get why it's Gen 8 starters, but the fact that Gen 8 starters don't have the signature move yet.
Yeah.
And now you are heavily incentivizing people to invest in a starter that technically is going to become outdated.
And the Gigantamax later too, yeah.
And Gigantamax later, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've already talked about the whole investment potential frustration for people. And it's kind of it's almost funny to see it encouraged in the time research and how it's what it's giving you.
I bet that their mindset is we're giving you everything you need to do this in the research. So if they spend beyond that, that's them,
But the research doesn't give Stardust. So
it says more to help power up your battle team. I remember.
Yeah, but it's Stardust. Not going to give you the 50,000 Stardust it'll take to get the Grookey to level 30.
But I'm just saying they're subsidizing the investment quite a bit by doing some of this.
But the problem is the investment is Stardust, not candy. Everybody who actually cares is probably more limited by Stardust than they are by candy.
Who is struggling with Stardust?
People who spend it.
That sounds like a hideous way to live. That sounds like you PvP, man. That sounds like you PvP. Anyway,
or are investing in new Dynamax Pokemon. Every new Dynamax Pokemon is another, 100 to 200,000 Stardust, depending on how far you're taking it.
I'll have you know that I invest in Dynamax Pokemon. I've got a 98% Blissey.
Yeah, you got 6 Dynamax Pokemon?
I have a lot of Dynamax Pokemon. I've done a lot of it.
But how many have you powered up to use?
Probably 6 or 8. Yeah, that's probably right.
That's what I just.
Yeah, but there's no need to do more than that. There isn't. There's a Pokemon that you have for a particular encounter, and there hasn't been very many challenging
Did you
encounters.
power up Blissey?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a healer defender, man. She's out there, man. She's out there making moves, being a big wall. I'll tell you what. So anyway, there's that. I intend to get out and actually do this, Suicune, at some point. So if you're in the area around me, get ready for me to harass you and be like, hey, friends, want to be friends? We'll be friends. Okay, let's move on to the next news thing here, which is Crown Clash, which is very exciting, in my opinion. I'm very thrilled. This is, I think, the peak of the news here today, this week. When is this Crown Clash event starting? It's starting Saturday, May 10th at 10 a.m. to Sunday, May 18th at 8 p.m. local time. So it's running an entire weekend. An entire week and a day. Event bonus is 2 times experience for evolving. Catching Slowpoke may award a King's Rock and increased chance to encounter Shiny Nidoqueen wearing a crown, Shiny Nidoking wearing a crown, Shiny Slowpoke, Shiny Combee, and Shiny Litleo. I love that lineup. That's a lot of great Pokemon right there. In addition, Pokemon debuts. Kingambit, the big blade Pokemon, will make its Pokemon Go debut. Also, new costumed Pokemon will appear during this event. Nidoking and Nidoqueen, both wearing crowns, will be there as well. In the wild, it says. Kingambit, for those at home that are unfamiliar with this Pokemon and this generation, it is the Stage 2 version of Pawniard's evolution. So it would then go Pawniard, Bisharp, and then Kingambit. It is sweet. I love Kingambit. What a great Pokemon. Wild encounters for this event include Slowpoke, Slackoth, Piplup, Combee, Snivy, get out of here, Litleo, and if you're very, very lucky, you may encounter a Pawniard as well in the wild. For raids, 1-star raids will be Sneasel, Clink, and Pawniard. 3-star raids will be Nidoqueen and Nidoking, each with their respective crowns. You can do field research tasks to earn encounters with event-themed Pokemon. There's going to be a collection challenge, which is going to feature catch and evolution-focused tasks or things to do to receive experience Stardust at encounter with Pawniard. Additionally, trainers level 31 and up will receive 1 guaranteed Candy XL for evolving Pokemon after completing the collection challenge. That's new, neat, very cool. There's going to be showcases. There's stuff in the web store for you to care about. And then they gave you a little heads up about this thing that Kyle and I forgot about, but were reminded of the other week. Track Pokemon. They're like, if you're still missing Pawniard or other Pokemon, try using the recently released Pokemon Alert feature, which enables trainers to track Pokemon. So do that, I guess, if Pawniard eludes you. Yeah. There's technically more to this event, but I'll pause really quick. Kyle, you want to gush about Kingambit or talk about the crowns?
Kingambit's great.
Yeah.
It is just great. I have one negative thing to say.
Oh, no.
I don't like that Pawniard is a rare encounter.
Oh, what? In the wild, you mean?
Yeah.
Why?
I get it. But like for an event that features Kingambit, he couldn't have just been a regular spawn. Like,
when they say rare spawns, it's really not that bad.
It depends. It depends on the event.
I guess it does.
You know it. Sometimes that rare is 0.1 and sometimes that rare is 0.001.
Sometimes.
So, but yeah,
sometimes
it's great. Nidoking and Nidoqueen wearing crowns are really cool. Although you will only see them in the raids. So
it says in the wild as well.
No. The wild encounters are Slowpoke, Slackoth, Piplup, Combee, Snivy, Litleo, and Pawniard.
It says shiny chance. No. Under the debuts, I thought it said new costume Pokemon will also appear in the wild. It says during this event.
Yeah, just during the event. So that's a bit of a bummer if you want a shiny.
Yeah.
You want a shiny one, but like, come on, it's so cool when you see something like a Nidoking or Queen spawn in the wild. But yeah, so. Oh, I don't think did you say the evolution condition?
No.
The evolution condition is defeat 15 dark or steel types in raid battles with the Bisharp as your buddy.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. And like, I don't like, it doesn't bother me that much, but it feels a little bit funny that it takes 15 raids to do this. The event's only going to be around for 8 days. So even if you have free pass ready to go, you literally could not get a Kingambit for free in the window of the event. Not that you need to, because there's no bonus, but like, that's kind of funny that you physically cannot get one otherwise.
Do you know
without it?
Do you know if because it's dark and/or steel, if we do the Pawniard raids, 1-star raids, because it's dark and steel, do you think it counts twice?
No, because I think that evolving Galarian Slowpoke requires Psychic or Poison, if I remember correctly. And I don't think that it double dips.
Okay. Interesting.
Because it's saying it's one counter, dark or steel, versus like 2 separate counters. If it was 2 separate counters, it would count for both.
Yeah, you're right. Dang. Well,
so like
take some time.
Yeah.
But Kingambit's good. It's pretty good, I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but my Slowpoke example was bad because it's Psychic for one evolution, Poison for another evolution, but my point still slightly stands.
Sure. Okay. So. Let's talk about this second portion of this event, and then we'll come back to more opinions on it. Crown Clash taken over. Oh, you were like, man, I can't believe this event is 8 days long. Well, it's because it kind of becomes something else for a little while. The taken over portion will be from Wednesday, May 14th at 12 a.m. to Sunday, May 18th at 11:59 p.m. local time. Event bonuses include Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. You can use a Charged TM to help a Shadow Pokemon forget Charged Attack Frustration. Pokemon caught via 1-star and 3-star Shadow Raids during the event will have a wider variance of attack, defense, and HP. They can be worse and therefore better for PvP. Save Shadow Dialga. It's such a crazy accurate sentence to say. They might be worse, so the better. Anyway, save Shadow Dialga. Special research will be unlocked at the beginning of the event. Progress, blah, blah, blah. Get the Super Radar from, doing the tasks, and then you can encounter Giovanni and save Shadow Dialga. You can claim this special research until the end of the Might and Mastery season, which ends on June 3rd at 9:59 a.m. local time. And for Shadow Pokemon, for changes there, Team Go Rocket Grunts and their leaders are using different Shadow Pokemon. And Shadow Pokemon, there's new ones. Slackoth, Inkay, Tyrant, and Amara. Those are interesting ones for sure. A Shadow Slaking sounds potentially scary, but it isn't. It's just not. In Shadow Raids, 1-star Shadow Raids will feature Magnemite, Cyndaquil, I'm back in, baby, Murkrow, and Spoink. 3-star raids will have Lapras, Piloswine, and Girder. And then here's a little update on eggs. Normally during this, they're just like, hey, here's the 12K pool. Remember these guys? This time, it's a little note that said these 2 Pokemon that were previously in the 12K pool are now being moved to the 10K pool, like, into the future, too. Larvitar and Pawniard to be moved to the 10K pool from 12K.
Okay.
Kyle's looking something up. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up to see what's in the 12K pool right now.
Oh, it was getting a little
to see
crowded
what it's going to become.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So it Sandile, Vullaby, Pancham, Salandite, Shroodle, and Varoom. Yeah. Once those 2 are taken out.
It's a pretty compelling pool, I think.
Yeah. Minus the Pancham, that's it. And I guess Vullaby, depending on your historical luck.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good pool.
So true. Field research task rewards, complete them to earn fast TMs, charged TMs, and mysterious components. There's going to be a $4.99 US paid timed research that'll get you another Super Rocket Radar, 2 premium battle passes, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon, including Nidoqueen, Nidoking, and more. There'll be showcases and a web store bundle. I think you get extra Ultra Balls or something when you buy this one at the web store. And that's it for Crown Clash taken over. So, weigh in, Kyle. You and I are historically not huge fans of Team Go Rocket stuff, but I don't know, these taken over events are neat. It's a cool twist on an existing event, especially when it's running for 8 days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to weigh in, honestly. It's a rocket event. I think it's pretty much par for the course. Seeing 2 Pokemon taken out of 12K is great because that egg pool has been bloated for way too long.
Yep.
I'd like to say that seeing new Shadow Pokemon is exciting, but I don't think it's exciting at this point.
It's okay.
It's fine. Like, it's fine. I love Inkay just in general, so the idea of seeing more Inkay is cool, but...
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I really don't have a lot of things to say about this. I'm excited for Shadow Cyndaquil. I think it's been around before. I don't remember, but I like to do more of it. I'm also on the seasonal research part where I have to do, not seasonal research, maybe it's the masterwork, something like that, where I have to do shadow raids, and I just don't do them. So this will be nice to do some 1-stars and actually be interested in what I'm doing instead of just, is it a 1-star? Is it a shadow raid? Great. But yeah, no, this will be nice. Mark your calendars, folks. Don't forget to TM away frustration, and all that good stuff. I'm excited for Kingambit. That's all I'm excited for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last piece of news here, and then we have this, and then we're going to talk about the bits and bobs, the loose ends of the May content overview. But the last event we have details on right now, as of today, is the May Community Day. It's going to be Paw Me, and this will be Sunday, May 11th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. The featured attack will be Brick Break. It does 40 power, has 40 power in both trainer battles and gyms and raids. There's going to be a 199 Community Day special research, par for the course. 3 encounters with the Palmy that have the special background encounters with Palmy, additional ones, a premium raid pass, a rare candy XL, and even more goodies, they say. There's going to be special backward timed research like we've just had. You're probably on the last couple of days, or you've just finished the Vanillite one if you're like me. I've got 2 days left on that. Yep. And then there's event bonuses, limited time evolution requirements. You can evolve your Palmo into Palmot after exploring 1 kilometer with Palmo as your buddy. It's not normally that easy, that is to say. So take advantage of that if you don't have a Palmot yet. It's going to be quarter egg hatch distance, 2 times candy for catching Pokemon, 2 times chance for trainers level 31 but to receive Candy XL for catching. Lure modules and incense will last for 3 hours when used during the event. Snapshot surprises, yada yada, 1 additional trade, and trades will require 50% less Stardust, the usual stuff. Also for field research, the usual fare, Stardust, encounters with Palmy, all that good stuff. Showcases will be Palmy and the Palmy family. There's going to be the web store. Go buy your ticket there if you're going to buy it. And event bundles in the in-game store. They listed and enumerated what the prices were and the things in those in-game store bundles. But I am such a convert now to the web store, I'm not even going to bother it. I'm just not. Yep. It's not worth your money. That's it. I think the thing to talk about here is that it's Palmy, and we just got Palmy.
Well, you did not just get Palmy. Palmy has been in the game for a minute now. Here, let me go look at my oldest Palmy.
September 10th, 2023. So a year and a half.
Okay. Yeah, because this one's from September 12th.
Yeah.
That's a pretty healthy time. But
I think that's still pretty soon in the timeline.
We would definitely have gotten like a Togedemaru day already if it could have evolved. Same for Dedenne. But it can't evolve, so they're not going to do it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That said, okay, can I air some grievances here? Because I just had to go double check. Because
when have you ever been able to air a grievance on this show?
Look, I love Palmy. Okay, first off, positives. I love Palmy. It is, in my opinion, probably the second best, or it's probably the best Pikachu clone. Like, Pikachu is Pikachu, and then I think Palmy is the best designed one after Pikachu. I think its evolutions are awful. I think both of them are terrible, and we don't have to say anything else about that. They're like a 1 out of 10 Pokemon, and Palmy is like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I think they're bad. Like, they're really insulting.
Such opinions.
6 of the last 7 community days have been on a Sunday. The only community day since October of last year that was on a Saturday was Fuecoco in March.
Well, that was good for you.
Yeah, that was great. But like, I'd like to play this one.
Yeah.
Why is it on a Sunday again? Like,
yeah, that's a good question.
but
Maybe it's
I'm
Children's
all
Day
for
in,
having
like,
Sunday
some of the country.
like alternatives. That's cool. It's great. But you've just gone in the other direction now. Everybody who can't play on Sundays but could play on Saturdays can't play now. I thought we were alternate. I'm very frustrated because I'm like, man, I feel like I haven't had a chance to play much Community Day lately.
Yeah,
because I can't afford to take Sundays off of work right now.
Yeah, and it is a bit difficult to swap. Shifts
Usually it's not, but the person who usually I would switch with to work Saturday instead has been scheduled on Sunday too, so they're working both weekend days, so I can't do anything about it. I'm slightly annoyed. It's very frustrating to just see it on Sunday again.
Yeah,
especially because we just had one on Sunday, literally 3 days ago, like 2 weeks before this event happens.
Yeah.
We had another Sunday Community Day.
Yeah, I wonder what gives, because they were pretty committed to that every other pattern for a while.
Yeah, when they started giving us like 3 months in advance, you could very clearly see an alternating pattern.
So, yeah, that's frustrating.
If you're like me, let me know how frustrated you are that it's constantly on a Sunday and you can't play.
Mail at GOCastPodcast.com for all of your grievances. Or tweet at us.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Let me tell you, that platform is much more suited for people's dislike of things than email.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Palmy's exciting though. It's not going to shake up any meta, at least in PvE. So don't expect that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry, Kyle, but it'll be fun. I'll grab you shinies. Hopefully it's a much slower Sunday and you're able to play on a break or something.
We'll see. The warmer days have been rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know I have been going through and getting some decaf and stuff like that because it's been nice. Any excuse to leave the house, man, for real. Okay, so that's Palmy Day. Palmy's great. We're excited about it. The shiny is cool. Brick Break is a thing. I'm sure somebody will tell us that it's a much bigger thing than just okay. But I don't know. It doesn't appear to be a game changer with 40 power. So that's fine. All right, let's talk really quick about the things we may have missed with the Make Content update. This was again posted on their X account as a series of images. I love this format. It's just so bizarre to me. Anyway, the featured Pokemon up front are Mega Kangaskhan and Dynamax Suicune, which we already know about. Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day is this weekend. Dynamax Suicune Max Battle Weekend is in 2 weeks, or next weekend rather. But also Gigantamax Machamp is on here, which is huge. Mm-hmm. Besides physically large, it's also a gigantic thing to learn because it's important. Probably the best fighting Gigantamax we have, I think.
Oh, I mean, right. Currently, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will be outclassed. I don't think it's going to be, though.
If it does, it's up there anyway. It's still going to be pretty good.
Oh, I guess if they let Urshifu Gigantamax.
Eventually. But until then, good placeholder. Very good placeholder. Yeah. There's going to be Gigantamax, Dynamax. What's wrong with me? These Dynamax Pokemon will appear in max battles through Might and Mastery. They've already kind of labeled these. But April 25th through May 5th is Charmander, Pidove, Cryogonal, Wooloo, and Phalanx. May 5th through the 12th is Bulbasaur, Machop, Beldum, and Grookey. And then May 12th through the 19th is Ghastly, Chansey, Drillbur, Darumaki, Phalanx, and the 19th through 26th is Squirtle, Krabby, Sableye, and Beldum. And there's one more here. Oh, geez, this list keeps going. May 26th through June 2nd is Ghastly, Pidove, Phalanx, and Rookidee, which is what Kyle was pointing out before. So Rookidee will also be Dynamaxable, which is pretty slick. Max Mondays, May 5th is Grookey, May 12th is Ghastly, Sableye is May 19th, and Rookidee on May 26th will be featured in Max Mondays, so that's pretty slick. Mega Raids will feature Mega Houndoom May 1st through the 12th, Mega Gyarados the 12th through the 25th, and then to round it out on the 25th through the 3rd is Mega Altaria. Shadow Regirock is showing up in Shadow Raids from May 4th to June 4th over the weekends. And then there's going to be a shadow. Okay, so other than the events that we already covered, because there's 4 more events beyond that, a Shadow Raid Day on May 17th, which we don't know what that is yet as of this recording. Final Strike Go Battle Week, May 21st through the 27th. There's going to be May Community Day Classic, which we actually already know about that one too. Oh, wait, no, it's starting at the Classic. The Community Day on the 11th we do. On the 24th, the Classic we do not. Maybe that's a Saturday, Kyle. You might be in luck if it's decent.
And then Classic?
It's a Classic, yeah.
That doesn't count. I don't want to play the Classic. I played the original.
I'm just looking for anything here.
It is a Saturday, though.
Okay. Gigantamax Machamp Max Battle Day is going to be the 25th, so that must be, that's a Sunday. So there's that. Raid hours will feature the Tapus and the Lake Spirits. May 7th is Tapu Fini. The 14th and 21st is the suite of Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, whatever's appropriate to your region. And Tapu Bulu will be the 28th. Those bosses will be in 5-star raids during those periods of time too, where those raid hours take place.
It's not that bad though. It's been a minute since we've seen the Lake Spirits, so anyone who needs to get copies, especially if you need to remote for the ones not in your region.
I'm just happy that when we're seeing Tapus come back, we're actually seeing the 2 that we very rarely saw, which was Fini and Bulu. We've seen Coco a million times.
Yeah.
So there's also going to be Spotlight Hours. Of course, this is the last thing. Spotlight Hours. May 6th is Furfrou for Frau with 2 times Catch Candy. Sandy Gas is on the 13th of May. 2 times Transfer Candy. And Puchietta, May 20th, 2 times Evolution Experience. Lastly, Golette, baby, May 27th, 2 times Catch Stardust. We love to see it. Stardust, baby. And that's it for the rest of May. Very cool. Gigantamax Machamp is like such a sleeper, man. Like, I feel like we talked so much about that month, but that's like on the front of that preview, and that's huge. So.
That's a big deal. That's going to be a very meta one, worth getting 100%.
Definitely. But that rounds out the news. So thank you so much, Mr. Kyle. That means that we're going to take a quick little break here. When we come back, it's going to be PokéPoll time.
And we're back with last week's PokéPoll, which was, what is an avatar item or pose inspired by other Pokemon games that you would love to see come to Pokemon Go? First response from Sarah Laura said, from Scarlet and Violet, the Hasta La Vista moves with Team Star, where they mime out a star. Absolute classic.
Hasta La Vista. Yeah.
Hasta La Vista. Oh, man. So bad.
Instant win.
Next one's from Darth Ninja Lemon. They said, I feel like Ash's outfit is an easy choice. Pose could be reversing the hat. It's incredible we don't have that pose in this game.
I think the reversing the hat is tough because not all headpieces can be reversed.
You don't have to actually reverse the hat. Like if you had it specifically tied to something, you could like maybe have it interact with an outfit. But just the act of doing it and like taking a pose with the Pokeball afterwards would be good enough.
Yeah, I agree. It would, be good enough.
Or you could have it only available for poses for outfits that have hats, and then override the hat with Ash's hat for the pose. Sort of like how you generate the airplane or something. I
think what they would have to do is tie it to just the hat.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can have this hat on pretty much anything else, and in order to use the pose, you have to have the hat on.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool, though. That 100%.
Be pretty slick.
Next one's from Tone. He said, the Pokeball throw from Nessa in Sword and Shield. I want my avatar to do that straight up leg kick.
It's impressive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's impressive. It's not falling over.
It's the I'm here for no modifications for the game. I want it to clip and break every outfit every time.
Oh yeah, I want my pants to tear every time I throw that leg.
Like if I'm wearing the Gengar onesie, I just want the leg to go in the air, and then when a texture gets stretched too much, it starts to like spaz everywhere. That's what I want to happen.
All right.
Next one's from Pepper is Found. They said Brock's frying pan, drying pan pose. I'm for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me the crossover.
Yep. And we don't even need to have a frying pan head item, even though that'd be pretty sweet. But it just needs to pull it out, hold it over.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That's it.
Next, we have Lou the Legend. They said the best champion, Leon's iconic pose. The hand animation isn't mandatory.
There's a note here because later in the conversation, people were talking about how you could get that, but it was kind of a limited access pose. And then Lou was lamenting that he wished that they could get it again. But then the sentiment in the group was like, what we really need is the cape.
Yeah, we do need the cape.
We really need the cape. Oh, no, and there's a voicemail here for the last one. This voicemail is from Adam. We're going to put that one up.
Hey, Adam from New Zealand here. I just want to say the best avatar item is already in game, and that is the ball guy outfit. Love that ever since Sword and Shield. Best thing is, for some reason, no one else really uses it. I never see it, so it's like really unique. Maybe it's because of the name. Cracks me up every time too. Cheers for the show.
Maybe. All right.
Perfect. I love the ball guy outfit and ball guy and Sword and Shield. Great.
Ball guy is great. Yep.
Yeah.
There's an extra place setting at my table forever for ball guy. Forever.
Man, a character with no facial expression just has so much personality.
It's just one facial expression. It's a little small.
Well, no means it doesn't change, not that there isn't an expression on the face.
Wouldn't you? It doesn't have facial expressions, but he does have facial expression. It's just one.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Talk about this week's PokéPoll. This week's PokéPoll, if you could have one item from the Pokemon universe in real life, what would it be and why? I'm going to take a very boring, very simple answer, so I'm going to let Chris go first.
Oh, mine's Rocky Helmet, dude. You come at me, you're going to hurt yourself, man. Bam!
You can have that one. You can have that in real life already.
Yeah, but I want like the real one. You know what I mean? Like the real one. Oh no, actually, I'll take it back. You ready for a real one? Max Repel. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone.
Okay. That's good. That was definitely going to be someone's answer.
Oh, for sure.
My answer is full restore.
After an open, like yeah.
No, not for myself. Not all the medical stuff for my dog. It'd be so nice to just be like, no more stress. Everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Life is stressful right now. All right, for everybody, but like, sorry for being a little bit real there, but
no, it's good.
Yeah,
it's
full restore would be great.
Okay, well, then if you need two wishes to make that happen, you can have mine as well. I can hold off on the helmet. That's fine. Okay, well, dear listener, if you have an answer to this week's PokéPoll question, which is, once again, if you could have one item from the Pokemon universe in real life, what would it be and why? You can answer that question. We post it on our X account at GOCast Podcast. That's also the handle for the Threads account. If you'd like to send us your answer via email, you can to mail@gocastpodcast.com or call to 262-586-7717. If you're a patron of ours, you can, of course, also answer this question in our patron exclusive Discord that you would hopefully then subsequently be a part of. There's a whole channel dedicated to it. And lastly, if you're on YouTube, you can reply in the comments. Please do. Also, subscribe. We love you for that already. And if you're watching on Spotify, you can just reply to the episode there with your response as well. And speaking of emails and voicemails, Mr. Kyle, where are we?
It's time for emails.
That's right. And one voicemail from Sarah Amanda. We're going to play that first.
Hey, GoCast. It's Sarah Amanda here.
Hello.
So, Vanillite Community Day. That was like a triple layered Community Day event. You know, I mean, we had Vanillite happening, we had D-Max Entei happening, we had these Mossy Lure Applin happening, and then also, I mean, if you counted, there was also Shadow Registeel and raids on the weekend. So it's like, whoa, there's just a lot going on. But, you know, I'm kind of liking it, because, I mean, how much, like, just catching Vanillite do you really need for 3 hours? So it was really nice to be able to walk around and do, like, I did, like, 6 D-Max Entei for free. because, I'd like managed my particles the day before, and then I had a bonus from the check-in and, the research from the week, like 6 free Entei, and it was effortless to find people to do this because it was community day. And I even took a break in the middle of community day to play some Monster Hunter because there was some Monster Hunter event going on. Okay. And there were 2 friends I had playing Pokemon that would like play Monster Hunter for a bit too, so we did that. It was good. I had 14 shinies, like Vanillites, that did not like suffer at all. We dropped so many mossy lures around downtown, so like in the main area where people tend to congregate, so people could get tons of apples. It was good. One other thing I just want to say is like this whole like, oh, you have now like a week after community to evolve for the special move. That is so good. Like, I mean, 2 hours. It used to be 2 hours after the event ended, you could still do it. And that was nice. But it was still like, there was still some stress because I would get home from community day and, my significant other would be like, okay, so like dinner. And I'll be like, no, I got to figure out what I'm evolving. Now it's like, what, I can do it tomorrow. Like, I can go home and just close the game. Because, okay. The very last thing I was going to say is, while I love sharing items in party play, it is a bit hectic after community day because usually people will share incenses. And so after community day, I'll have like 8 hours worth of incense still going. So it's just nice to be able to close the game for the rest of the day and not worry about it. Anyway, that's all. Peace. Sarah Amanda.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't completely consider the whole scope of all the things that were happening on Sunday. I completely forgot about Shadow Registeel, and Dynamax Entei was definitely not on my mind either. Yeah, but all that stuff was happening, huh?
Yeah, I think it's great if you have a large community or a very active community. That kind of layering is really good for maybe a time where each individual thing might not be enough for people.
Yeah,
like a vanilla community day, maybe.
Well, it's nice that like a community like that is so low impact that you can just kind of do it passively when you're trying to do these other more focused tasks like max battles and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yep. Very cool. Thanks for the voicemail there, Sarah Meda. We've got a few emails as well. This first one is from Bulbaseth. Would you like to take it, Mr. Kyle? It's been a while since we've heard from Bulbaseth.
All right. Bulbaseth said, hey, Chris and Kyle. Bulbaseth here. It's been a while since I've sent in an email, but since I've been playing and listening more, I figured it's time. The last 24 hours in game were some of the luckiest I've had in a while, and I can't help but want to share and also flex. Yesterday on my walk, I popped my daily incense like usual and prepared myself for another day of disappointment. 2 minutes in, there's a Galarian Articuno floating in a sea of slugs and cats. I quickly clicked on it, and wouldn't you know it, it's shiny.
Oh!
I stopped in the middle of the path with what I can only assume was the shocked Pikachu meme face. Thankfully, I had this encounter with enough Golden Razzes and Ultras to feel comfortable, but it did take over 75 throws to finally catch it.
Oh my gosh.
As a side note, even if you don't want to make it a guaranteed catch, for the love of Arceus, at least make the shiny burrs have an increased catch rate. A quick IV check, and it's a 0-14-14. That is 1637 CP, so it's ineligible for Great League. I don't do PvP, but when I do, I refuse to play anything besides Great League because I don't hate myself.
That's fair, man.
Flashing forward to today, and I'm taking my usual morning walk. I used the Gimme Ghoul bag and was just trying to focus on hatching eggs and shiny checking while catching the little ghouls. Over 2 miles in, and nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. However you want to phrase it, there was nothing interesting going on in the game. I turned the final corner and begin the final 3/4 of a mile to get back home, and glanced down just in time to see 2 little blue tri-tip tails waving at me in the wind. I quickly spun my avatar around for a better look and let out an audible gasp when a sweet little Azelf was staring at a pond on the map that is sadly dried up currently. Cue the shocked Pikachu meme once again. I couldn't believe it, but I tried to keep myself calm enough to land a good throw as I fully expected it to run after my first ball. 12 total times I watched with bated breath as it jumped out of the ball, each time expecting it to be gone forever. On the 13th throw, I successfully captured it and couldn't have been happier. At least I thought I couldn't be any happier, My next click was on a Florigato, and it was shiny. Much less cool than a shiny Galarian bird or a wild lake spirit, but cool nonetheless. Anyways, I know this has been long-winded, but I'd like for you to name them both. You can each pick a name for one of them, so it'd be up to you who names which and what name you choose. Shiny vibes all, Bulbasaur 7. P.S. Is Azelf next to a dried up pond a sign of something? It seemed too odd to be a coincidence. Well, the irony is certainly great to see a lake spirit next to a dried up pond. So.
A pond in the first place, and then so which one do you want to give a suggestion for?
Oh goodness. Are we naming the shinies? I'm assuming that's what we were saying.
No, I think we're doing the Azelf and the Florigato.
Not the Galarian bird.
I'm not sure. It's unclear, but I'm choosing it for myself.
Well, I think it should be the two shinies. But
okay, because I have one for the Azelf already in my head, so I'm making an argument for it.
Okay, well that's fine. I'm the worst person in the world at names.
Yes,
and it's a historical fact. So I want to see a Galarian Articuno named Elsa.
Elsa? Oh, that's cute.
Elsa.
Yeah, man, that's good. Let it go, dog. Just let it go.
Let it go. But we can't let it go because it's a Galarian bird.
Don't let it go. Hold on tight. Never let go. Don't let go. And I think your Azelf should be named Honorary Mud Boy, but do like H Mud Boy because it was found next to a dried up pond.
Honorary Mud Boy.
Yeah. I love that. Anyway, nice to hear from you, Bulbasaur. Thank you so much for emailing in. We've got another email here. This one's from Artemis Dragon, and they said, "Hey, GOCast, Artemis Dragon here, and I've got quite a bit to say today regarding my thoughts, concerns, and some other things in between. Here we go. First off, collecting eggs. Having experienced 2 hatch events in under a month, by the way, Tyrogue 2-kilometer eggs by itself was amazing. This feature still needs a lot of small improvements that would make it fun. You should always get an egg if your item storage is full. Guys, they're not items, they're Pokemon. Eggs are tethered to Pokemon storage. 2, after opening a gift, just show all the rewards at once. Usually I just skip through them all, and to make sure that I get a potential Tinkatank egg, I was literally forced against my will to sit through the reward animations just to avoid backing all the way out in order to check my egg storage in case I got distracted. Needless to say, I did. Arg. The third thing, we should be able to see the number of gifts we've opened/sent and have both our item storage tracker as well our egg storage displayed within the Friends tab. This would be sweet. Oh, yeah. I think it would. Your second point here about getting seeing everything at once out of the gift thing, I would literally open 9, then go back and check. Like, okay, I got 7. Open up 2 more, go back and check. Okay, need 1 more, and then just open up 1 more and go back and check. And
that's awful. That's terrible.
Awful. But just
look. There's so much wasted space on that screen. They could just pop, and show 5 rewards. All they could still give you the satisfaction of the animations and stuff playing. Just put them all there.
I mean, when you spin a stop and it stacks the icons on the right end of the screen, they should just do that with gifts. Sometimes
you double tap when you open an egg and you just skip a reward. And you have no way of checking what you just got because the reward disappears faster than it loads.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% for that.
This next section is new Pokemon. Adding new Pokemon or new gimmicks surrounding them is cool, but it's not sustainable content. It hasn't been for years. Examples, despite them not being meta yet, Corviknight, Darkspun, Thievul, and even Tinkaton are amazing additions, and so are the old picks featured for the lackluster Pokemon Horizons event, in my opinion. But most players will never know this because they have low CP levels and are only good for PvP. Remember when we could prestige a gym to train it up faster if we used Pokemon that were half the CP of the gym Pokemon? I like that sort of mechanic available, but with wild, evolved encounters. Also, shout out to Niantic officials who took part in Gossifleur's assets. I love that we get to see its details. Small tangent, I know it's a scaling thing, but it would be nice if Pokemon like Sinistea were much bigger in your storage. Gossifleur has this incredible Sound of Music / Julia Andrews spot animation where it trolls on the map that just looks amazing. I give high praise to all of those that made it possible, and I hope we see it spawn again soon. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like it when it popped out of the egg hatch, too. Next section is Campfire. I had something, but I forgot. LOL. That's what a lot of people feel that way about Campfire.
That's how everyone feels about Campfire.
Moving on to Max Battles. Speaking of airing grievances. This is like Martin Luther putting the grievances on the anyway. My Lutheranism is showing through. Max battles. G Max Snorlax was a bust. 5 attempts and only clobbered 2 successfully because we only had like 14 for battles. It was my second G Max since Toxtricity because I'm still not into this expensive feature. All the battles were clunky, and I assure you that it wasn't my hardware. Sometimes your commands don't register as you tap, animations don't display, the game maxes the wrong Pokemon, and the catch screen still freezes up for whatever reason, were all just some of the issues I witnessed and experienced. I also didn't appreciate losing nearly 2 hours battling the doggone thing that I could have been hatching 7-kilometer eggs, but they really needed my help, and that part was cool. I did finally use my Max Mushroom, and OMG, that thing was nuts. I had no idea that it was that busted, and am I wrong? Does it charge the max meter stupidly fast? I was going max mode like crazy. Having experienced it for the first time really made me upset that the only way to get them is if you spend coins. I usually don't say this, but Max Mushrooms are 100% pay to win. We had no shot of winning without it. They should be accessible. I haven't really heard anybody talk about using them, so this is kind of good insight.
No one's using them because I don't think anyone's buying them.
I mean, we all have one, right, from that research or whatever, but yeah.
But I do think they are pay to win. Like, you don't have to really argue it. It's not even like a semantic. It is objectively pay to win.
Yep, I would agree. Mega Kangaskhan. This is a jab at the Pokemon Company. Make Kangaskhan part ground type, at least for Mega form. And while you're at it, Mega Aggron deserves to be part dragon. Okay. All right. We're making
I don't know about that second one, but I can get behind the Kangaskhan maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Questions. Why is Ultra Beast pluralized while doing a search? It must be research. Legendary. Oh, no, sorry. I'm probably searching through through Pokemon storage. Legendary and mythical aren't. It should just be Ultra Beast or UB. I don't get it. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. They kind of treat Ultra Beasts differently, though, because they're not actually... They're just different.
That is so funny that you type Ultra Beast, nothing comes up, but if you add the S, they all show up.
Well, you want to see all your Ultra Beasts, right?
What if I just want to see one Ultra Beast?
Can you type in Mythicals?
I don't think so. I don't think
Mythical will work.
So Mythical works. Mythicals does not work.
That is weird. Okay, now I have a new thing to be mad about as well. Okay.
I agree. I'm on same boat.
And then lastly, what if we could select a difficulty level to make the game more challenging from the settings menu? A hard mode, if you will. Like certain wild Pokemon must be fought before catching them, and instead of running through Team Rocket with ease, their Pokemon could be totally random that can shield, and they don't pause after you've thrown a charge move. How about an egg with a 24-hour timer in it? If you don't hatch, it expires. I'm not sure what else could be more challenging outside of these ideas, but it all wouldn't be a blanketed one-off setting either. They'd have to be separate. There would have to be separate settings that let you create your own experience. What do y'all think? That stuff is interesting in concept. I think it gets really difficult. Like when you're actively trying to improve a game and balance things around player experience later and also run an economy in that game, stuff like this is neat, but throws a huge monkey wrench into that whole equation. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I'm one for, I like difficult games. I do.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place, and the game has to really support it. I think that if you make Go quote unquote difficult, all that actually happens is it becomes more tedious overall. And I think that max battles are a decent example of difficulty. The problem is the difficulty is tied to group coordination, not just player skill.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, there's just a lot of vectors and variables that they have to consider with stuff like that. I think they were starting to push a little bit with max battles, the difficulty level there, but they solved for it by insulating the whole system, which is what people were like arguing against. You know, they're like, I hate that it's just this niche thing, right? Mm-hmm. But that's literally the only reason how that content exists the way that it does right now.
Yeah, and like, well, the thing with difficulty settings in general, especially when you pick one before you play a video game, is you're determining how your particular experience is going to be, and usually it's because of how you want to interact with the game mechanics. I want a more difficult main series Pokemon game because the main series game has so many mechanics that you don't need to interact with to play it regularly.
Yeah.
And I wish the game let me do that. But I don't think that Go has enough intricacies and details that they could include in a difficulty scenario to feel rewarded for it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Like I feel rewarded when I do a Pokemon battle and I am using set instead of switch for the battle type.
Yeah.
If you've never played a Pokemon game like that, set is so much more enjoyable if you care about a lot of strategy and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's where it doesn't tell you what they're going to switch into, right?
Now it doesn't tell you, and it doesn't give you the option to switch.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Oh, I don't know. Hey, those are a lot of thoughts, Artemis Dragon. Appreciated all of them. Thank you for sharing them with us. Yeah, and appreciate the email. We have one last one from Julius, but I'm running out of time here because I have a work engagement in just a few minutes here. So, Julius, it is great to hear from you again. We will read your email next week. It looks like it's an update on how you're doing, but it's very good to hear from you again. So we will talk about that next week. Which brings us to the end of the show. If you would like to send us an email, just like these fine folks did, you can by sending it to mail@gocastpodcast.com. We also have a voicemail line that you can call in and leave a voicemail to. That number is 262-586-7717. Visit our website for all things GoCast at gocastpodcast.com. Follow us on X and Threads at GoCast Podcast. If you'd like to help support the show, give us like $1 a month or something like that. That'd be sweet. That's via Patreon. That's spelled patreon.com/GoCast Podcast, or just Google us because our SEO is very good. It's great. Don't know how that happened, but it did. And I think it's my turn for the elite trainers.
I'm pretty sure it is because I think I messed up spectacularly last week.
It's all good in the hood, man. All right. Here is our elite trainer tier patrons. Big shout out to Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin, and Mimi, Sforza, Risui, and Ryan, Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Modders, Lee, William, Brandon, Ethan, Stephen, Nick, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, Sailor, Memorandums, Nabil, Tish, Jacob, Matthew, Don, John, Paul, Micah, Sean, Dave, Nassical, and Purple Opal. Thank you all so much for your generous support, for helping us keep the digital lights on. If you'd like to help support the show, not monetarily or in addition to being a sweet patron of ours, please consider leaving us a review on anywhere that they take reviews. Helps us out immensely for many different things. But let's set some goals and get out of here, Mr. Kyle. We got to consider a few things. We have the Growing Up event starting this week on Friday. We have Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day on Saturday. And I know you're just fumbling over yourself just trying to get this together to work, but Shadow Regirock is in Shadow Raid starting this weekend as well.
I cannot express to you my excitement for all of this to be happening on my birthday weekend.
That's great. Happy birthday to you, Shadow Regirock.
So excited. I'm not doing any of this. That's a slight lie. 200,000 experience, special research progress. I've got at least one I'm going to finish. If I can get down to just the 3 masterwork, I'll be very happy.
Nice.
Especially because I'm going to get another rocket research next week or 10 days from now. And I want to try and hatch 1 Toxel. Just 1. We'll see what happens. I'll probably only hatch like 20 eggs. At most. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully the rate's good enough. 1 in 20 would make sense, I think. For myself, I wanted to hatch 50 eggs because we're in the lull between egg hatching events right now. So I'm not going to set a lofty one, but 50 seems right. 2 shiny Kangaskhan from the raid day. I intend to do at least like 5 or 10 of them. Hopefully I'll get lucky. 1 Toxel also. I think that's a great goal. I'll try that. And then special research any. I really mean like for the Growing Up event. I don't remember if there is research for it. I can be bothered to scroll up. Looks like there is. No, there is. And a collection challenge. So I'll do both of those.
Oh, there's a collection challenge.
There's a collection challenge. Yep.
Oh.
You gonna add it?
Only a paid research, but yeah, I'm gonna do that collection challenge since I'm not super interested in the the event in general.
Very nice.
So,
okay. That brings us to the end of the show, folks. Thank you so much, Mr. Kyle, for another episode. And we'll see y'all next time for episode 323. Happy birthday, Kyle. Bye-bye.
bye.